father responded by picking up a real gun. This moment made his sister realize something was wrong. She rushed over and tackled her brother to the ground, seeing that their father was still shooting at them. The sister finally understood what was happening. Their father had driven for 3 hours to take them to the middle of nowhere. It turned out that he wanted to get rid of them. To survive, the girl led her brother to crawl behind her. Once they had crawled 20 meters away, the sister dared to slowly peek out to observe. To her surprise, their father was already gone. The car had been set on fire by their father using gasoline. The girl told her brother to stay put and not move. She went to the car to search for supplies. At that moment, she knew they had to return to the city as soon as possible. Otherwise, they would surely die of thirst or starvation. Soon it was nighttime. They were already parched with thirst. Since they had left in a hurry without taking any water, they endured their thirst to conserve energy and fell asleep early. The next morning at dawn, the girl took her younger brother and began their journey. To get a clear understanding of the surrounding terrain, the girl decided to climb to the top of a mountain, but she nearly slipped and fell. Fortunately, they were moving very carefully. After great effort, they finally reached the summit. However, upon reaching the top, the scene before them left them despairing. All around were nothing but hills. There was no sign of the city. What was even more terrifying was that they had no water left. They now had to find a water source. They walked for a long time but couldn't find any water. They had no choice but to rest and conserve their strength. Fortunately, at that moment, the girl found a few drops of water in a broken can. She quickly handed the water to her brother. After a brief rest, they set off again. After a long time, the girl noticed a patch of green vegetation ahead. She thought she was hallucinating. But when her brother also saw the vegetation, they walked toward it. Not only was there an abundant water source here, but the trees were also laden with wild fruit. The boy drank a few mouthfuls of water without hesitation, and then picked some wild fruit from the water to eat. When she saw that birds also like to eat these wild fruits, the girl realized that the fruits were not poisonous, so she let her brother eat them without worry. However, because of this, the brother and sister ate their fill, and then lay down on the ground and fell asleep. What they didn't expect was that, when the sun rose the next day, the water from the previous day had seeped away. What was even more frightening was that, they had been so preoccupied with drinking water, that they hadn't stored any of the water from the ditch. However, after they woke up, they suddenly saw a wild man, holding a spear and hunting lizards. This gave them hope, but when the wild man approached, they couldn't understand what he was saying. Seeing the wild man turn and leave, they hurriedly chased after him. Then the boy began to gesture with his hands. The man finally realized they wanted water. He directly inserted reeds into the ditch, and soon they drank water. Realizing the man had wilderness survival skills, they had no choice but to follow him away from there.